Generative AI, the future unveiled in 7 steps. Today, we're diving deep into the world of generative AI, a tech that's poised to reshape the future as we know it. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down the 7 key things you need to know about generative AI, from its inner workings to its potential impact on our lives. So, buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and let's unravel the future of generative AI together. AI Foundations, it all starts here. Before we can jump into the world of generative AI, we need to lay down some groundwork. Think of artificial intelligence as the big umbrella, with machine learning as a powerful tool underneath. AI, at its core, is all about making machines smart, enabling them to mimic human intelligence. Machine learning is where things get really interesting. Instead of being explicitly programmed, these algorithms learn from data, identifying patterns and making predictions. We'll be taking a look at 3 main types of machine learning: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is like having a teacher. We feed the algorithm labeled data, so it learns to map inputs to outputs. Unsupervised learning is more like exploration. The algorithm finds structure and patterns in unlabeled data. Finally, reinforcement learning is all about learning through trial and error, just like we do. Deep learning, the engine of generative AI. Deep learning is where things get really interesting. This is the engine powering many generative AI applications. Imagine neural networks with multiple layers, each processing information and passing it on, kind of like the human brain. One of the key players in the generative AI game is the Generative Adversarial Network, or GAN for short. Think of it as a competition between 2 neural networks. One network, called the generator, tries to create realistic data, while the other, the discriminator, tries to tell the real from the fake. This adversarial process is what makes GAN so powerful for generating incredibly realistic images, videos, and even audio. But GANs aren't the only game in town. Variational autoencoders, or VAEs, offer another approach to generating data. And then we have transformers, the architecture behind some of the most impressive language models out there. The power of language. NLP and generative AI. Let's talk about language. It's how we communicate, express ourselves, and share ideas. And now, thanks to generative AI, machines are becoming increasingly adept at understanding and generating human-like text. This is where natural language processing, or NLP, comes in. One shining example is GPT, or Generative Pre-trained Transformer. This model has taken the world by storm with its ability to generate incredibly coherent and contextually relevant text. From writing stories and poems to crafting emails and translating languages, GPT has pushed the boundaries of what's possible with language models. Then we have BERT, or bidirectional encoder representations from transformers. Unlike GPT, which focuses on generating text, BERT is all about understanding the meaning and context of language. These powerful language models are transforming how we interact with technology. We're seeing AI-powered chatbots that can hold natural conversations, tools that can generate creative content in seconds, and search engines that can understand the intent behind our queries. Chapter 4, Beyond Words, Image Generation and Multimodal AI. We've seen how generative AI is changing the game with language, but it doesn't stop there. Prepare to have your mind blown as we enter the realm of image generation and multimodal AI. Remember those GANs we talked about earlier? They're not limited to just text. In fact, some of the most jaw-dropping applications of generative AI involve creating realistic images and even videos. Imagine typing in a description like a cat wearing a top hat riding a unicorn on Mars, and boom, a GAN generates a stunningly realistic image that matches your exact words. This is the power of generative AI in action. Chapter 5, Training Giants, the Art and Science of Model Training. We've seen the magic of generative AI, but behind the scenes, it takes a lot of work to train these powerful models. It's a delicate dance of data, algorithms, and computational power. Think of training a generative AI model like teaching a child to paint. You wouldn't expect a masterpiece on the first try, right? It takes time, practice, and the right tools. The first ingredient in this recipe is data. And lots of it. Generative models thrive on massive data sets, learning patterns and relationships that enable them to create new original content. The quality and diversity of this data are crucial for the model's performance. Next comes the algorithm, the recipe that guides the learning process. But data and algorithms alone aren't enough. Training these massive models requires serious computational power. We're talking about racks of GPUs working tirelessly to process data and refine the model's parameters. Evaluation is crucial throughout the training process. We need to constantly assess how well the model is learning and make adjustments along the way. Fine-tuning is another essential aspect of model training. This involves taking a pre-trained model and adapting it to a specific task or domain. Chapter 6. Generative AI in Action Applications and Ethical Concerns. The real magic of generative AI lies in its ability to transform industries and reshape our world. From creative pursuits to scientific breakthroughs, the applications are as diverse as they are impactful. Imagine a world where writers have AI assistants that help them overcome writer's block, generating creative prompts and even entire paragraphs of text. Or how about musicians collaborating with AI to compose new melodies and explore uncharted sonic territories? In healthcare, it's being used to develop new drugs, personalized treatments, and even generate synthetic medical images for training and research purposes. In the business world, generative AI is automating tasks, improving customer service with intelligent chatbots, and generating personalized marketing content that resonates with individual consumers. However, with great power comes great responsibility. As generative AI becomes increasingly sophisticated, it's crucial to address the ethical implications and potential risks. One concern is the potential for bias. If the data used to train these models reflects existing societal biases, the output could perpetuate and even amplify those biases. Another concern is the spread of misinformation. Imagine AI systems generating fake news articles or creating deepfakes that are indistinguishable from reality. Chapter 7. The Road Ahead, Future Trends and the Evolution of Generative AI. As we venture further into the world of generative AI, the road ahead is paved with exciting possibilities and transformative advancements. The future holds a tapestry of innovation, with generative AI at its forefront. One key trend is the development of even more powerful and efficient models. Researchers are constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible, exploring new architectures and training techniques to create AI that can generate even more complex and nuanced outputs. Another trend is the rise of personalized AI. Imagine generative models that can tailor their creations to your unique preferences, style, and needs. Sustainability is another crucial aspect of the future of generative AI. As these models become increasingly complex, so does their computational footprint. Researchers are actively working on developing more energy-efficient algorithms and hardware to mitigate the environmental impact. The evolution of multimodal and adaptive AI will continue to blur the lines between the physical and digital worlds. And as generative AI becomes more accessible, we can expect a surge in creativity and innovation across all industries. The future is generative. Stay tuned. That was a deep dive into the world of generative AI, a technology that's rapidly changing how we create, consume, and interact with the world around us. From its fundamental building blocks to its mind-blowing applications, generative AI is a force to be reckoned with. So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring the ever-evolving landscape of generative AI. Until next time, keep innovating.